I'm doing some admin work. I want to show you how I actually use AI in day-to-day tasks and why I don't really use ChatGPT for this kind of thing. And I actually use Cursor, which is supposed to be for coding, but I think that it shines in this kind of situation. So I've got these files right now, taxi and website. So these are my two income sources for self-assessment, and I want to have a receipts folder in each one with a load of months. I'm going to copy the path to this folder. I'm going to paste it here. So I know under this self-assessment folder, under taxi and website, can you put a folder called receipts with a list of other directories for the whole year? So this needs to be for the 25 to 26 tax year. So it needs to go from this year in April to next year in April. So this is actually using GPT-5, and because Cursor can have this CRUD access where it can create, read, update and delete files, we can see that it's thinking through this. Here we can see that it has created the folders. This is what it's shown us, so it uses the terminal. Now I'm going to check. So this is the folder which it's just made. This is the receipts for every month for this tax year. And now I can just put stuff in there as I need to. This is where Cursor is completely different to ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, it can't write to the terminal. It can only read what's on the terminal and then give you prompts. So it could do it, and there's a bit of back and forth, and there may be use cases where you'd prefer that, or you prefer it to not run the commands for you. But with Cursor, because it can read and write files, and because it's an IDE, you could open your files or your folders in there. You could drag specific ones into the chat that you want to reference and be like, this folder needs this, or we need to organize this like this. Or if you've got a load of receipts, you could say, I've got all these receipts. For example, if they've got the dates in the times they were saved, I want to organize these by date, or I just need all the ones from this year. You can be very kind of specific with the instructions, and it can actually do those tasks. So this is much more agentic or closer to a real agent than what we get from ChatGPT. The people that made ChatGPT know that it's not its final form factor, and it's going to have more access to tools and different apps. But at the moment, the most advanced version of it is probably the CLI tools like Codex, Gemini, Claude Code, because they have access to the file system. But if you want a user-friendly interface, Cursor basically bridges those two things. So you've got the agent, the chat, you're still using GPT or Claude, but you can also see the files. It's not that daunting to people who aren't developers. There's a lot of plugins, like you can get it to write markdown files or reports, export them as PDFs. So there's actually a lot more that you can do with Cursor than just writing code. So I use this all the time, and I just kind of want to share my workflows because they've helped me a lot and I see them helping others. So let me know if you found this useful.